Hey, it's Tuesday, it's 7:30. That can only mean one thing. It's 1HEART Live!
Come again, 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 come again.
On the floor.
Now listen, if you're tuning in for the very first time, where on earth have you been? We are part of a brand spanking new channel dedicated to bringing you the best Caribbean-inspired content from around the world. Now, 4 funny people descend to Dub Jam in London to discuss some of the most talked about topics of the week. Definitely looking forward to that. They'll be shooting the breeze at the very cool Reggae Rum Shack in London, and we find out what happens when we went behind the scenes at the Jamaican High Commission. And if that isn't enough, don't forget Home Sweet Home with Angie Le Mar. Today, she'll be hanging out with Marcia Griffiths. It's so hard to say that. I'm so sorry, Marcia, if you're watching. Now, if you're still not sure about what we're about, take a look at this.
On the floor.
1HEART TV.
You are watching 1HEART.
You want go easy, Angie agora.
1HEART TV.
Wagwan, Jamaica.
Inspired by the Caribbean, loved by the world. A brand new channel, 1HEART TV.
So here at 1HEART, we love us some conversation. We do like to talk, so let's talk. How about you big up your island? You can send a question to any of our guests who I'll introduce in just a moment. I'm very excited. And just let us know what's going on. So tweet us at 1HEART TV, or you can send us a quick email at connect@1hearttv.com. Now, this week, we have a great lineup for you. Please welcome to 1HEART Live, Natalie, who's one half of Floetry, and Natty, who's a fantastic guest as well. Yes, you can clap, studio. You can clap. Natty is an amazing singer, songwriter, a music engineer as well. And Natalie is one half of Floetry, who's just come back on an amazing American tour, which I'm going to be finding out all about. So, in fact, let's focus on you, girlfriend. How are you?
You know, I'm blessed, but we're here in a dual light because I was called Natty my whole life. So, you know what I mean? This is a good lineup.
So shall I call you Natty as well? It will
You
help
can,
me
Natty
a lot.
and Natty is fine. Come on.
Now listen, I know you got here today via sort of spaceship or something like that we were discussing
Something
earlier.
along those lines.
Something along the lines, but you've sort of literally just touched down from the States. You've been on, what, 3-month tour?
Yeah,
with a
something like
reunion
that.
tour
Yeah,
with Floetry?
Absolutely,
Tell me a bit about it.
It was fun. We did 43 cities. Myself and my manager, Tony Douglas, we went out there. Obviously, Marsha's already out there. We just got together, and for the first time in almost 9 years, we performed and just had a beautiful time with a fantastic fan base of supporters that are just incredible. And with a spark, a little idea, a little baby of mine that I had that now is this genre, Floetry, poetic delivery, musical intent, which is now understood, and we interacted and had just the most amazing time. So yeah, we did about 43 dates in
That's
no
crazy.
time.
That is crazy. Okay, so for those who don't know much about Floetry, I mean, where have they been for a start? But just in case, how did the idea come together? Because obviously you're Natalie, as we know, or Natty.
Floacist.
Floacist, as well as you're called. But then you've also got Marsha, the songstress. So how did the two of you come together, and what was the idea behind it?
Oh, you know, this story is much more in depth than how did Floetry come together. Marsha and I have known each other since we were about 10, 11 years old.
Oh, really? So what, you grew up together?
Ish. We grew up through basketball. My sister was an avid basketball player. Marsha was a great basketball player. She played for England. I came into the basketball community through my older sister. We met there. Then years later, we went to Performing Arts School, the Brit Performing Arts School, third year intake. We were there for a while. Marsha's 2 years older than me. She left. I was still there. I left, went to uni. And Marsha had a solo single. Always aligned, and then just decided one day I invited her down to a poetry spot.
And then one day you decided to get together. I want to talk a bit more about how, you know, your shows and things like that, and when you did your very first performance. But I want to get Natty into this conversation because there's a bit of a link here as well. I mean, Natty, tell us a bit about yourself, just very quickly, and then I'll talk about the link between you guys.
So, I'm a singer, songwriter as well. Just about to put out my second album. And yeah, I've been touring, singing for many years now. Before that, I was a sound engineer, producer. And yeah, music has been pretty much a lot of my existence, just that and spreading a nice message, nice vibe, you know, that's what it's about.
So music is literally your life. You
Pretty
started
much,
off, you
yeah.
said you blagged your way in actually as a sound engineer.
Correct.
In a studio.
Correct.
So that's quite inspirational actually for many young people that's trying to get into the business as well. How exactly did you do it? Give us some tips.
All right, so I didn't know much about anything to do with music production when I turned up at open mic night one day and spoke to the engineer there. And so he put me in touch with some guy. This guy happened to be another engineer who'd done some studio stuff. He's like, oh, we need some hand on a session. If you want to help out. I was like, all right, cool, come down. He kept inviting me back. And he went to another studio, like a big posh studio and that. And
a proper one.
A big proper studio, not just a house studio, but a big proper one. And
we've all worked in house studios, I just want to say.
Yeah,
you can't knock it.
No, I'm not knocking it.
I know.
Except it didn't cost like $1,000 a day for his house studio.
Right.
With them ones, it's like, there's a lot of pressure on the job because a lot of record labels and that pay a lot of money, so it's like a high-end situation. I walked into the studio manager's office, said that I was great, and she was like, and I think she kind of liked the look of me. I wasn't quite sure, but I was like, let me just, you know, just a week. So I did my week there. That turned into like 4 or 5 weeks.
It's amazing.
And then, you know, I ended up doing a Sugar Babe session. I remember the producer comes in and he's like, right, everyone out the room. So the engineer, the house engineer, he's like, oh, but Natty can stay. And I was just like this T-boy person on work experience. So then it was like, the managers and that were like, all right, cool, we got something here. I get a phone call about 2 months later saying, we just fired someone, do you want to have a job? We'd rather teach someone who knows nothing, because it's obvious you know nothing, even though you blagged your way in.
But they've got to give you props for that, at least.
Yeah, and so they kind of gave me props for that. And they were like, do you want a job? We'd rather teach someone as opposed to someone who comes out of college who thinks they think that they're an engineer. So I got the job.
So you got in. How old were you?
I was 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Which studios were it?
Sphere Studios.
Okay,
in
yeah.
Battersea.
Yeah, in London. So not far?
Not far at all.
Not far at all.
Yeah.
So it brings back all types of memories.
All types of memories. Yeah, that was even where I met the lovely sister sitting next to me.
Well, exactly. So Floetry came in and did a session at the studios, is that right?
That's right. The song was from...
It was from our live album DVD. Actually, it was just myself in the session and Mos Def, because he was featured on the song. So I was just getting Mos's verse down.
Right. So how was that? Do you remember actually working with them?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Because I was such a big fan at the time. So, like I was just saying just now, they asked me to work on Pop Idol, I think it was, before X Factor. Because see, all the X Factor shots, they would all shoot that in the studio where I worked. So all them with the orchestras and all that. That was the studio where I worked. And so they wanted me to do this. I think it was Michelle McManus or some madness like that.
Oh gosh.
Can you remember that name?
She was like the first
something like
Pop
that.
Idol winner, wasn't she?
Yeah, and I
Where
was like,
is she now?
I'm not doing it. You can, I don't care if I'm the last one.
Why, 'cause you just weren't feeling it?
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Fire me, do what you want. I'm not doing it.
Really?
Yeah. And then it was like, and you had to be like an engineer to get in with like Most Def and Floetry. So I was just like, look, I'll do this session if you put me on that session.
Ah, so a bit of bartering.
Yeah. And they were like, you know what? It's one mic. It's not my big band. All right, we can trust him to do it. And so, yeah.
Cool.
I got the gig.
You got the gig,
So
and there you are, and the story continues.
Yeah, and then just lots of different bits and pieces. I ended up recording like Razorlight, like a rock band. I engineered their one, so that was like...
Razorlight are really cool.
Yeah,
I
they're
want to know more about the people that you've worked with. I also want to know about your open mic nights with Ed Sheeran and people like that. But don't tell me any more right now. Shall I tell you why?
Yeah.
Because we're trying to build up our own icon Hall of Fame. Like top 20, right? And so what we've been doing each week is we've been highlighting some of them. This week, the first one today is actually Lewis Hamilton, so take a look. But it's up to you guys as well. You decide who gets into our top 20. So here it is, Lewis Hamilton Hall of Fame. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, double world champion, Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton is a British Formula One racing driver from England, currently racing for the Mercedes-AMG team. Hamilton's Caribbean heritage comes from his dad Anthony's side, as his parents emigrated to the UK from Grenada in the 1950s. Lewis's father saw his son's passion for racing at a young age and promised to support him as long as he worked hard at school. Since then, Lewis has gone on to win many races and currently holds more race victories than any other British driver in the history of Formula One.
Studio audience, feel free to clap today. Really. My renter crowd aren't doing very well today. I'm so sorry. I will perk them up in the break. Do you guys have a renter crowd that just follow you about and just clap and say how amazing you are?
That's good luck.
It's not bad, right?
Rent a crowd?
Rent a crowd, that's them, that's them. They're brilliant. Listen, don't forget, your votes, by the way, for our Icon Hall of Fame, your votes will help us decide who make the top 20. So you can choose from some of our suggestions throughout the series, or you can vote for your own. Let us know via Facebook, Twitter, or even post a pic of them on Instagram. All right, so this is what you do. You can tweet us at 1HEART TV, Facebook at 1HEART Worldwide, or you can email connect@1heart.com. Still to come on the hot seat, I'm still talking to one half of Floetry. That's the lovely Natalie, the Floatrist, and also Natty with his natty dreads. He looked wicked, wicked dreads. All right, tell you what, let's go to break, and I'll see you in part 2.
Whenever a guy insecure about him hairline, once you talk about him, start what's up.
Right.
Like gonna push it forward, you know, and start growing, you know, watch.